Yep. Looks like we finally escaped the toy animatronics and make on Balloon Boy as well. And we're able to get a real Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics. The ones that Happy, Mike, and Vanessa befriended. We'll be able to take care of them. So Teen Titans with Robin, Marissa Zulu, and the principal guy in Abby's school. We're not so lucky, I'm afraid. It ain't Marissa. The toy Freddy animatronic had actually ate Marissa back there. Oh. So, yeah. I finally watched Five Nights at Freddy's 2. And so did my friends. Both people and Pokemon alike. And now, it's time for the show. I am Lindsay, and here is my Pikachu card Redtag, my Otachi, and the rest of the gang, and the majority of the other survivors that will survive that final attack from those toy animatronics. But anyways, despite us not seeing Five Nights at Freddy's the movie 2 on December of last year, since we were kind of on a vacation for the rest of the year, to celebrate Christmas with my mom's side of the family. But we were able to see it just 3 months above schedule before when the month of July begins. It would no longer be a movie of this year. It's right now the 3rd or 4th last day of March. But yeah, you'll watch the movie and on the list. And now it's time for us to review Five Nights at Freddy's the movie 2. Years after the events of the first movie, or probably 2 years after the first, Mike and Abby are going to have a happy life together. And along with Vanessa too, who Mike started dating. And at the time after the events of the first movie. However, 600. Abby really missed her friends from the first movie. And she really wants to help fix them and have her living with them again in Synchro Life. And have them all be together again in Synchro Life. Though they're not allowed to leave the pizzeria for some reason. Yeah, Abby wants to fix them. Yeah, Abby really wants them to, but it will synchronize. So that's when, and with some of the when we saw some of the advertisings for the Freddy Fazbear Music Festival, or Fast as the cool kids call it. Secret Life. Abby discovers the original channel Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, which is basically the one from Five Nights at Freddy's 2, with the toy animatronics in real life. And she's been getting a signal from the Fast Talk that they're still out there, and they want on her to come find them, and we'll sing real life. like, this machine over here. And so he's your life. However, it ends up being a trap conspired by Vanessa's younger brother, Michael. Michael, who's been trying in No Secret Life. Who's been awakening the toy animatronics, and it's as well as the marionette, who was once a little girl named Charlotte, who used to be Vanessa's best friend. Go Secret Life. Life. Or, say, future life. Who's been trying to avenge their father after Abby was able to free animatronics from his control. Oh, and had them locked away, maybe forever, and have him turned to Springtrap, like as Purple Guy would have, like Purple Guy, like the Purple Guy. I am Guy in Secret Life. He's like the Purple in Secret Life, the Secret Life, the Purple Guy would do and has ultimately have in the first movie. But basically, their plan was to trick in Secret Life. Was to trick Secret Life. Was to trick Abby into free Secret Life, into freeing them. And try to do genocide towards the civilians at the Fazbear Fest. It's like real life, and it's up. It's like real life, and it's like real life, and it's up to her, Mike, and Vanessa, to stop them.
Ciao. I'm going to send you a movie that my friend told me that I'm going to try to watch tonight. I'll send you the title. Ciao.
I was really looking forward to seeing this one. I would have been able to do it on December 5th, when the movie first came out. Though I had a vacation, though my Pokemon and I went on a winter break, maybe before Mom's side of the family. and we had to see it at least 3 months later, and thankfully 3 months before July starts, since movies for the second half of last year do count as movies as this year, at least until June ends, that is. But luckily, we were able to watch it at the end of March. Well, third or fourth last day of Sacred Life of March, and Sacred Life, and Sacred Life March. And I'll be honest, I find this one going to be a bit of a downgrade from the first movie with the cliffhanger, with the very slow pacing and the typical cliffhanger ending that all second movies usually do when they want to introduce a third movie, especially when the third movie is the end of the series. But I still enjoyed it. The visuals, the animatronics, the 20 animatronics, as the visuals are very astounding, as well as the pixelated 2D parts of the movie that shows the animatronics. And both the toy animatronics and the real Five Nights at Freddy's game themselves, those are basically the big highlights of the movie. Although the biggest flaw with this one is basically how usually with these cliffhanger movies, it's basically one of those movies that tell us that the next movie is to tell more of the story, or in a different inside your life. In the game, but the third one is definitely going to be a very, very exciting and most conclusive movie to this. And I'm really excited to see the third movie, though it does come with the problems of having things get a bit weird during the time of the movie. And there are a few characters who I can't stand, and like the principal, as the worst character of the movie, for saying that animatronics are not a good use of mechanical machines, which not true, especially with some colleges, both in real life and hoppers. In real life, if animatronic animals here to help clean and protect the ocean and understand animals, and the same goes for the movie for one of the movies I did see this year. Disney Pixar's Hoppers. And it definitely deserved the fame and success that it's craving for. And it's way better than Over the Hedge, which I never watched it, and probably when I will. You should check that. You should probably check out that movie as well. Oh, it's so fantastic. And my favorite part, and the bed and my bed and and I really cheer, and I was really happy and cheered. Here at his last moments, where Toy Chica crushes just his head, and then kills him like he deserves to be after he treats Abby poorly and wrecks her science fair project just because he doesn't like animatronics. When that is just mean, just stupid, but then completely mean spirited, and basically is one of those shows us one of those old timey schools where creativity is repressed. And well, at least he's dead now. John's dead now, and he deserves it. Eric. And yeah. And and probably unlike the real Five Nights at Freddy's crew, who are descending in the heavens after having their spirits free from the animatronics control from the marionette and Purple Guy's control. Principal Burnham is definitely getting crushed and getting turned into lava in hell. Oh, for what he did to Abby, being our science project. And see, since he's just such a horrible person, since Life. And I actually cheered when Troy Chica killed Prince Ober. Trump by crushing his head. And then stepping on his head. And throw him in the waste total. Like, that evil principal definitely had that coming. And compared to Mayor Jerry, at least he actually... So he does grow a heart. And self-awareness. Grows a heart. So realization, she should tell about the forces that need that male to not have someone. Is how important the glade is, Like, at least Mayor Jerry comes to terms with his arrogant and selfish and greedy ways. He's able to help him realize the error's ways, and they're able to relocate and he was able to help save the day. And decides to restore the glade back to its former glory and relocate his highway. And you should definitely go watch Hoppers right now. Because I don't want to spoil anything else. That's fantastic. Because I'm not gonna spoil anything about that movie that much. About that movie at all. I want you all to see the movie Hoppers. Here's now. It's fantastic. My point is that Mirror Jerry, and you will actually, and the thing about Mirror Jerry, you can reverse him. At least he does end up becoming a person. It's what about the airway, or in the glade. And George, that's what I was, isn't it? And he does kind of help save the day, and he didn't. Let's go help save, and he does end up helping save the day at the end. Then started getting more glory, and decides to relocate the highway, and have the glade restored to form, and decides to restore the glade back to its former glory and relocate its highway. To realize that, it helps me restore the glade back to its order, its natural order, and ultimately relocates the highway. At least Mayor Jerry actually, let's say you're the and I'll say today. Well, Mr. Bertrand just started out bad. And starts making the start making ready. And he helped Club. Oh, Jerry and Ellie's girls are hard. 5 years there in ways. Restoring the drawer. Yes. At least Mayor Jerry has attention with him realizing ways. He's going hard and see. And becomes a better person, and especially to be able to knock on Hoppers. Tanaka and at least Mayor Jerry actually realizes the consequences of his actions and then helps save the day and decides to help save the day. And realizes the RMAs help the process. Restore the way for glory, and restore the natural order, and decides to fit the order. He meant to its former glory. And restore his natural order. Mr. Bruno Weather. just does not do anything or has any personality. And just doesn't do any of that. And just dies completely as he deserves. He just dies. And I really love Abby as the best character in the movie, and I really enjoy Charlotte the marionette and Abby as the best characters in the movie. Yeah, Mike is a much better person. And how's Abby? And Mike. And Mike. Just like. So. Psych. Again. Psych. Yeah. Psych. And he has a good, ain't wholesome. Well, Abby and Mike has a great dynamic as always. No fighting or fighting. Or any Mike and each other. However, instead, and Mike and Vanessa, despite being able to help defeat her younger brother, Michael. But all time, it was like, well, basically, at the end, the marionette, real name is Charlotte, that has been hiding inside a toy chica the whole time. I mean, ends up corrupting her. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Eve and Psych. And ends up correcting her. But luckily, Vanessa was able to save her. But luckily, And so, well, psych, and psych. Psych, yeah, psych. But yeah, since you're psych. Vanessa was able to free Abby from the Marion's control. Oh, and Mike is able to free her. Help her escape from the Marionette and put her to sleep at the music box. And Vanessa frees Abby. Yeah. And then the real... And then the real finance return come in. And well, so yeah. And then I was like, and then the real Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics come to save the day. Well, basically, the real Freddy, Foxy, Boy, and Chica come to save them, and we're able to be a try. Sorry, Fredders. The real Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics were able to stop the toy animatronics and Mango Blue Boy too. And Michael is arrested. But then comes the cliffhanger part, which is always my least favorite. Where this way? She'd race, but Mike and Abby turn against her, saying that she's too secretive for them to be together, and Mike breaks up with her. It's like... But anyway, yeah, psych. But anyway, as for Vanessa, though, when the marionette wakes up seeing Mike and Abby have left her behind, sure it makes her an accident, and which foreshadowed the third movie, maybe the mirror. Easy lane, so yeah. Well, basically, Charlotte the marionette wakes up when the music stops, and she possesses Vanessa for showing. And that will be enough to conflict her early, especially when trying to fight Gareth. It's pretty hilarious. Don't worry about Gareth. Don't know Vanessa's now in control of the marionette. Send up for third movie, and that's how it ends. And that's basically how the movie ends. I'll admit that I kind of deducted some points from that movie for the cliffhanger end. Especially when he is like, yeah, saying, since Psych, friend of ours. And yeah. Though most of everything else in the movie was really good. The visuals are great. But yeah, the visuals are great, especially to the bit start and the end credit and opening scenes of these five movies as well. That was highlight. Mike and Abby are still great here. So, just Psych. Actually, hello, Psych did relocate. Hello, Psych did relocate. And Psych did relocate the highway. Mike and Abby are still great characters. And Vanessa was a good character until she gets caught up in the betrayal and gets possessed by Charlotte, the marionette. That was a great movie. The toy animatronics, nice. And Mango and the toy animatronics definitely make us great antagonists. Yes, and the story. And the scoring. And the electronics, the movie are very well done and visual. Joy. But yeah. I would have liked it better if it was just Michael that gets defeated. And the rest of ever. Which he does. But did they really? They had to get certain hands on a guy with other nets. But it's still a good movie. Well, not as good as the first. But the third movie will change that. The best of the three movies. As we find out the truth about Gareth. And you know what really happened to Gareth? If you hand. And probably bring into so, and probably do is journey inside. he'll relocate. Inside, he'll relocate highway. Inside, he'll relocate highway. Inside, he'll relocate highway. And outside. Outside. And they don't look at the surgery to be on the highway. Inside the glade. And overall, still, this movie is still pretty solid. And this might not be as good as the first Five Nights at Freddy's. But yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, it's still a pretty good movie. Ruined by Principal Burrs being the worst character of it. And the cliffhanger ending with Michael. But still, if that's a movie, 7 out of 10. And